on a Wednesday night in the Commonwealth. Welcome to Rupp Arena. Critical SEC matchup headed your way. Kentucky, ranked 13th in the country, getting set to tangle with rival Vanderbilt. Big Blue playing its best basketball of the season. UK's won 7 of its last 8 games. 46 days away from Selection Sunday, if you can believe that. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott courtside, and I tell you what, the Cats are playing some special basketball as of late.
And Emmanuel Quickley and Nick Richards are especially have risen their game and taken their game to a new level, especially in their last 8 games. Take a look. Quickley gives Kentucky this three-point presence and has been a dynamic scorer. Nick Richards is coming off that monster double-double where he had 25 points and 14 rebounds, his 8th double-double of the year.
Just about set, ready to go. UK at 15-4, 5-1 in the league. Vanderbilt in search of its first conference victory of the season. Obina and Richards, opening tap controlled by the Cats. Hard to believe. 45 days out from Selection Sunday. Kentucky with 12 games remaining this season, trying to position itself for the big dance. Open look, top of the key. Maxey with a bounce.
Friendly roll because he has not been shooting the ball very well from distance.
Commodores without the services of Aaron Neesmith, leading scorer in the SEC, 23 per game. A bit unlucky in back-to-back seasons after losing Darius Garland a year ago. Lottery pick. Kentucky coming off the emotional, hard-fought overtime road win at Texas Tech back on Saturday night. Here's Pippen off the back foot and counting.
Well, we said for Vanderbilt to be the hang-around team tonight, I think they have to make 10 or more 3 balls. That's a good start on their first possession.
Big Blue 4-1 with those starting 5. Ashton Hagans making his 49th consecutive start this evening. Off the screen, here's Quickley the floater. Count it, all net.
What Quickley has given Coach Cal is scores on both sides of the floor now, playing with Ashton Hagans.
What an environment we witnessed in Lubbock back on Saturday for the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Talking with Nick Richards about what it was like to secure that road win. It's a big deal for the team. Coach Cal called it a gut check victory. Here's Saban Lee off the bounce. Nearly stolen, 5 to shoot. I mean, that was a gut check if you think about it. Overtime, the half-court shot by Quickley right before halftime. A lot of momentum changes in that win.
But remember, Kentucky is everyone's out game.
Sure.
Black out, white out, blue out, orange out. Everywhere Big Blue goes, they get everybody's best shot.
Here's Pippen. Off the mark, the rebound by Dessou, and he turns it over to Quickley. 1-on-2. Quickley off glass. Are there orange outs? I don't know that I've seen a lot of orange outs. Maybe that's just me.
Have you not been to Knoxville?
A couple of times. Dessou is short. Richards claims the rebound. And normally it's the white out or the black out. Hagans, about the quickness.
He just makes it look so easy. Great hesitation dribble. I'm not sure, Roy, that Vandy wants to get into an up-and-down affair. I know Jerry Stackhouse wants to play a certain way, but at some point in time, they have to do a little bit of controlling tempo.
Saban Lee, nice job in traffic right over the outstretched arm of Richards.
Saban Lee is a tough 2-point taker and a tough 2-point maker.
Maxey, the Euro step.
Coach Cal talked to us today about wanting a little bit more from Maxey, and he says he felt like Maxey has given it to him in practice, that he's not deferring. He wants to see a more aggressive Maxey. So far, so good.
9-5. Here's Lee, leading scorer for the Doors. He was pushed out, and a foul against Nick Richards.
Ashton Hagans, like a lot of great point guards, understand that you must play at different speeds. Hesitation, the blow by, the finish.
Hard to believe he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, but Don't you think this is his team?
It feels that way. Off the bounce, here's Dessou. It's one of those seasons where anything is possible in college basketball. Richards, the rejection. And if the foul's on 4 and white, that'll be his second.
This is where Richards has got to know his worth to the team. What do I mean by that? He's already picked up 1 foul. There's no reason for him to pick up a second foul now this early into the half.
Jerry Stackhouse, first season in Nashville. G League Coach of the Year for arriving on the scene to coach the Vanderbilt Commodores. 19-year veteran of the NBA and a 2-time All-Star. Richards will check out with the 2 personals. Nate Sestina in for the first time.
Of course, Jerry Stackhouse having to remix his ingredients after losing Aaron Nesmith, the best 3-point shooter in the country.
I mean, at one point he was asking the question, is Memorial Gymnasium haunted? The injury last year to Darius Garland and now this year with Aaron Nesmith. It's a lot to overcome. And Higgins was fouled.
I liked what you asked Jerry Stackhouse about this place reminding you of the Dean Dome. What did he say?
He didn't like the question. He says, I don't like the shade of blue here. But just the layout, the way that it's constructed, certainly a lot of differences. Outside to Maxey, 13 on the shot clock. First touch for Sestina. Good look. Montgomery inside the easy bucket.
Wonderful find by Sestina.
Thought it was a workmanlike approach at shoot around earlier today. Kentucky coming off that win against Texas Tech. And Coach Cal said it multiple times. This Vanderbilt team has nothing to lose. We're going to absorb their best shot. We understand that coming in. Step back for Lee. Count it. Silky smooth.
Again, he takes so many tough twos, but he can make them at a high rate.
And a foul against Saban Lee. That's his first.
Wonderful find by Sestina, who kind of sensed when he turned baseline he was going to attract the double. E.J. Montgomery with the two-handed finish. Cats on top early at home.
SEC Network Basketball is brought to you by Zaxby's. Hand-breaded chicken and fresh ingredients made to order only at Zaxby's. A look at the original floor here at Rupp from 76 to 2001. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott here in Lexington, Kentucky. And great to be here, Professor Wise. Good start for the Cats. Any memories from that particular floor?
Well, you just have to remember that maybe the most famous upset of all occurred on that floor in terms of Villanova and Georgetown. That Final Four was played right here in Lexington. I was a young assistant coach at the time, so I was at that, attending the coaches convention. So
Cats playing some pretty good basketball. They've won their last 10 here as Nick Richards on the bench with 2 early fouls. 1 possession game. Second touch for Sestina to turn around. And Dessou claims the board.
Pretty obvious Kentucky wants to establish inside out. They don't take a lot of threes. They don't make a lot of threes.
Wildcats 5 of their first 7 from the floor. 8 points coming from the painted area. 10 to shoot for Pippen. Matthew Moyer checking in. Back iron on the triple.
Moyer's struggles from the arc continue. Just 3 of 24 on the year.
Maxey the alley-oop. There's Sestina, his first 2. Moyer, of course, starting his career at Syracuse. After the coaching transition, his production has dropped off. It's kind of been a mystery in Nashville so far this season.
Well, there's a great matchup of 2 players wearing the number 0. Higgins on Saban Lee. Maybe the best defensive player on one of the better 2-point scorers in this conference.
How about the spin by Dessou?
You and I saw Dessou get 21 against Alabama when he was really good. I think he's just learning how to play.
You and I have talked about it off air, maybe somewhat on air as well. Pippen Dessous. Building blocks for the future for first-year head coach Gary Stackhouse. Maxey the runner and short.
And I don't like that shot. End up out of bounds in the photographer's row, playing a man down.
Montgomery the rebound. One possession game stolen by Dessous. On the fast break.
You don't get that very often on the road here in Rupp.
Vanderbilt coming in as a heavy underdog. You'd have to believe that this is a good start for the Commodores.
No question about it. And the start that John Calipari predicted today.
And an offensive foul. Montgomery picks up the personal.
So if you don't shoot a lot of threes and you don't make a lot of threes, how can you overcome that when you start looking at the number of threes that Kentucky is taking under Coach Cal? I think you can do that in a couple of different ways. One is you've got to shoot an outstanding percentage from the two-point field goal area. That's Kentucky's specialty. Attack the offensive glass. They do that and get to the line. They get almost 25% of their points at the free throw line. That's how they are able to overcome the lack of three-point shooting on a nightly basis.
Actually made more free throws than their opponents have attempted this year, which certainly speaks volumes about what Big Blue's been able to do.
Yeah, their three-point shooting, how does Kentucky score? Their three-point scoring ranks 351st in the country. As you take a look at the free throws, what you were just alluding to. Their two-point shooting is 36th best in the country, and their free throw scoring is 8th best in the country.
Moyer inside was fouled. Previous infraction went against Quickly. That's his first. Sestina picks up his first here.
Way too many fouls early on by Big Blue at home.
So from a coach's perspective, you mentioned it earlier, you're going to take the opposition's best shot night in and night out when you got Kentucky written across the front. What does Coach Cal do to ensure, to make sure that you don't have a letdown in a game like this? Because you're on the road at Auburn on Saturday. Everybody's talking about that one already. Not easy to do, right?
Well, here's what I like about what Coach Cal told us today. He's looking at the 40 minutes. He understands that they're going to get everybody's best shot, and you're not going to knock every team out in the first 10 minutes of the game. The game is just not played that way anymore. Players are too good. Coaches are too good.
Fans would disagree with that assessment, by the way. Tie game, one to shoot. Doors have to hurry. The rejection and a shot clock violation.
Brooks utilized his length to make up getting beat off the bounce.
But I mean, that's the issue I think we all deal with in this day and age. Social media, Twitterverse, everybody's got a hot take, an opinion, a reaction. And if you're not pummeling Vanderbilt 5 minutes into the game, well, what's wrong? Well, truth be told, nothing.
Are you saying Kentucky has a rabid fan base?
I'm saying a lot of fans are rabid.
Here's the 2-3 zone. Wings are really high, so free throw line area.
Higgins, beautiful spin off glass, give him a chance for three.
Utilizing Higgins in a different spot against the zone, that soft spot. He just attacks inside Moyer, takes the contact, finishes off the window. Another look, it's the same result. Hasn't really been shooting the ball well in league play. 35% from the field, 31% from the arc.
Three the hard way for Higgins.
How good was Higgins down the stretch of the Texas Tech game the other day? I think he's the best defensive player in this conference.
Co-defensive player of the year last year in the SEC.
He just impacts the game in so many ways on the defensive end that do not show up. Deflections, balls knocked out of bounds.
Wild shot for Moyer, wanted the foul, didn't get it. Higgins, open look, Juzang just checking in, and a foul. The offensive foul on Higgins, that's his first. 8 minutes in, the lead is 3 for UK here at home. Defensive Spotlight brought to you by Shelter Insurance. A little Dylan Dessou in action.
The freshman utilizes his length for the interception, the pick six, the finish on the other end. And Vanderbilt hanging around here on the road at Rupp.
16-13, 8 minutes in. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott mentioned some of the unluckiness for the Vanderbilt program each of the last 2 seasons. Have a look. Darius Garland, Aaron Neesmith, 2 of the best in Nashville the last couple of years.
If it wasn't for bad luck, this program would have no luck the last couple of years.
Garland, of course, goes on to be a top 10 draft pick in the NBA, only played 5 games. And then Neesmith, who we spent a lot of time with about a week ago in the home loss against Alabama. Stress fracture in the right foot. Was one of the top shooters in America before he was deemed to be out indefinitely.
And he is in most people's first round mock draft.
I mean, you average 23 per game, over 50% from deep. Good size, good physique, makes sense. Doors turn it over. Isaiah Rice checking in, bounced that one out of bounds.
But again, it's the pressure by Hagans. Rice has not played a lot of minutes. Kind of tough to cut your teeth on the road here, isn't it?
I think so. Hagans sent that off of Jankovic. 3rd turnover for the Wildcats.
Sloppy start for UK offensively.
Pippen outside to Rice from the corner. And a foul against the double nickel. Jankovic picks up his first.
So, Roy, as a coach, you always look at your schedule in groupings. And so you had Texas Tech on the road. You've got Auburn on the road coming up. Game day's going there. And in between, you've got Vanderbilt, who's really struggling to score. Isn't this kind of to be expected?
It's the classic trap game. I certainly agree with that. That's the picture you're painting. Sestina, skip pass, picked off. Vanderbilt 2-40 here against Kentucky. Not a lot of wins. Goes halfway through the first. Full head of steam for Moyer.
Kentucky playing a lot of minutes without Nick Richards.
Too strong for Quickly. You're just tuning in. Richards on the bench with 2 personals. But Pippen got caught in no man's land. Jankovic top of the key.
That's the kind of shot that Jerry Stackhouse was talking about today at shoot-around. They've gotten good looks. They just have not made them.
It's like you're living inside my brain. It's the next phrase out of my mouth. And Stackhouse said, we've gotten the looks. 33's the last game against South Carolina. He said about 25 of them were great looks. Just not making them. He said hopefully the basketball gods are going to be smiling upon us tonight. So Nick Richards picked up his 2nd foul. And since then, Vanderbilt has outscored UK 8-7. His production, though, this season, nothing short of tremendous. And I know you have him in the conversation for SEC Player of the Year.
I don't think there's any question about it, especially when you look at his last 8 games. He's almost averaging a double-double. And is simply the best player on the floor in Lubbock.
What's the shots?
But the length of Dessou again.
It's the defense, the rim protection that Nick Richards gives you. We saw that at Texas Tech. 4 rejections. Asked him if he was nervous with those free throws at the end in overtime. He said, no, man, I'm always feeling confident at the line. I said, I hear you. Saban Lee, off glass, spins it in. 1-point game.
Yeah, Lee is just going right by Hagans, which is a surprise in itself. Kentucky's offense needs to wake up.
Cats have turned it over 3 times in the last 2+ minutes.
Everybody wants to catch and dribble.
Juzang. Saban Lee off glass and count the basket. Don Daly with the quick call, leading our veteran officiating crew. Vanderbilt by a point.
Saban Lee feeling confident, is fearless with his ability to attack the rim. Once the ball goes off the glass, you cannot touch it. I thought that was an easy call. It already hit the backboard, and that's an easy one.
Saban Lee with 8 points. Brooks to the bench for Coach Cal. I think he knew the tone was there in shoot-around this morning.
Yes, it was.
And it's not a shocker. Higgins rattles that one in. That's a long 2.
Not really known as a pure outside shooter. Higgins is one of those what do you need guys. You need 15, he'll get you that.
Offensive foul, Obina on the moving screen, his first.
You need 7 or 8 rebounds, he'll give you that. 7 or 8 assists, he'll give you that. 7 or 8 steals.
"12 minutes in, 1-point advantage. Kentucky top 25 in the updated net rankings, which are oh so important this time of year. Looking at some of Joe Lunardi's thoughts before this game as Juzang missed a triple. Maxey the rebound. He's got UK right there on that 3-4 line. The dance were to start today.
Juzang struggling at the arc this season, as a lot of freshmen do.
And rejected from behind that time. 5 to shoot. Under 8 media timeout. 1-point contest here in Lexington. Back with more after this. Coming up on Saturday, another college basketball doubleheader headed your direction here on SEC Network. Arkansas, Bama at 6, Florida, Vanderbilt at 8:30 Saturday, and of course, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Good start for Saban Lee, and Vanderbilt on the road. He's got 8 points.
2 thoughts come to mind when you watch Saban Lee. One, he's just fearless. And then second, he has the ability to finish and make a high degree of difficulty shot. But so far, so good for the Commodores, and Saban Lee is leading the way.
4-5 from the floor. Meanwhile, Kentucky made 5 of its first 6 shots. 3 for 11 since. 5 seconds to shoot. Big Blue with possession.
Look at Nick Richards back out on the floor with his 2 fouls.
Perhaps an infusion of energy out of the timeout. Richards. Boy, he made that shot 200 times out of 200 times this morning. Not that occasion.
See how spread the floor. Bandy utilizes Dessou that way.
Big time shot, top of the key. Doors back in front. Dessou with 7. Had a career high 21 a week ago in a loss against Alabama. Vanderbilt facing a ranked Kentucky team here at Brown. Not very good. Higgins. And he was tripped. Free throws coming.
Little screen the screener. If you keep your eye on Dessou, watch him give it up, and then he's going to get screened for right there. He pops out wide open. And even though he's 27%, you and I have seen his confidence grow in the last couple of weeks.
Couple of shots for Ashton Higgins. Sestina back in. Montgomery checks out. Dessou 7-4 so far this evening.
Solid. Right now, Vanderbilt doing more than hanging around.
I hear you. And I agree. Tied at 20. Higgins has the last 7 for UK.
Now here's a rarity. Coach Cal goes zone. They do not zone a lot. They did it successfully on the road at Arkansas when Coach got kicked out of the game.
Well, I'd say that's one of the defining moments so far of the SEC season, and perhaps even larger by the time we get to Selection Sunday. Saban Lee coughs it up. Higgins a steal. Quickly rejected by Dessou out of nowhere. Lee all alone. Give him 10. I think Dessou took a shot. Appears to be okay.
My goodness, young fella, get on your trampoline.
Vanderbilt by 2. Montgomery.
That plays a 4-point swing by Dessou.
The mid-range jumper for EJ. We're tied at 22. Interesting start tonight.
I would not have guessed that Vanderbilt would make Kentucky go to a zone.
So the reasoning there is you're trying to change up the rhythm, the tempo.
Not only that, you're tired of trying to guard, save, and lead.
Yeah. Pippen left open. Big time shot from downtown.
That's the danger of zoning.
What was the number you gave me pregame? We
10.
were on Fine Bomb Show. 10 threes.
10. They have to make at least 10
to have a chance.
To have a shot.
Right now they're 3 for 7. 25-22. Maxey rejected. Dessou another block. And the shove out of bounds. Foul against the doors.
Again, the length of Dylan Dessou just traps that ball against the glass, which leads to the run out and an easy finish. That is a marvelous big time effort. So you said Vanderbilt's 3 of 7 at the arc. They came into this game without Aaron Nesmith, shooting 15% from bonus land.
That just hurts to hear it, and if Jerry Stackhouse could hear you, he would agree with my assessment. See 3 of 7 so far. Maxey with 6 points, so get the bonus. Both teams now in the bonus the rest of our first half.
One thing I like about that, though, is that Stack wants them to play that way. So even though they're making 15% from beyond the arc without Aaron Nesmith, they're shooting 26 times a game. So nothing has changed in the Vanderbilt offensive scheme.
Vanderbilt 53% from the floor. Dessou, contested 3, count it! Dylan Dessou from downtown.
Putting on a show.
He's got 10. Saban Lee has 10 for the doors. Here's a steal. Vanderbilt already with its largest lead. Dessou, heat check.
I like it, though.
Sestina. In and out.
Vanderbilt's been really solid on the glass, not allowing Kentucky second shot opportunities. Again.
Dessou is short. Hagens controls, and he'll settle things down.
Montgomery needs to find Dessou earlier in transition.
To shoot. Hagens. Sestina. Ball movement is crisp. From the corner, there's Quickly.
Who can keep Saban Lee in front of them?
2-point game. Maxwell Evans nearly lost the handle. It'll stay on this end when we come back. 5 to shoot for Vanderbilt. The doors, the hang-around team here in Lexington.
Coming up, SEC halftime report. Peter Burns, Pat Bradley will get you an update of LSU, Alabama, and a preview of South Carolina, Arkansas, and Fayetteville tonight. But what's this in rough right now?
One of the things you have to do for a major upset is shoot well. Right now, 50% from the field and 40% from the three-point line.
Doors up 2 with 3 to go. See you at half.
Dari, thank you very much. Back here in Rupp, Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Take me through that last sequence when Big Blue had possession of the basketball.
Maybe Kentucky's best half-court set because the ball moved the whole time. When the ball gets moved, the defense moves. And Sestina When Sestina gets feet in the paint, hold it right there. When he gets his feet in the paint and the defender has to come over to a track, that leads to a wide open look for his teammate in the corner. And as a result, that is a wide open look for the hottest of Cat three-point shooters.
At 1 foot on the line, so a long deuce. 3:17 remaining here in our first half. Vanderbilt leading by 2. The Commodores trying to erase a 24-game regular season SEC losing streak. Out of the timeout, Pippen was open. It pops out to Albert. He was bumped. No whistle. And the rebound claimed by Brooks. Almost 700 days since the last Vanderbilt SEC victory. Injuries have played a factor.
Do you think Cal will have some topics of conversation at halftime?
I'm worried he's going to come over here and talk with us. Evans up and in, nicely done.
The most surprising part of this whole game has been Vanderbilt's ability to score off the bounce against the Kentucky guards.
(30-26). And a foul inside against Kentucky. That's Ashton Hagens, his second.
This is Hagens trying to swing underneath. Watch him utilize his arm. It's his left arm to just push off right there against Evans. Don Daly finds that mistake. 7 first half turnovers for the Cats, and the Kentucky offense discombobulated right now.
Would ask you, are you surprised by what we're seeing? But I know the answer.
I'm surprised not by Kentucky's lack of offense, but by Vanderbilt's outstanding offense.
Nine to shoot, less than 2 to play in the first. And on the attempted screen, the foul called. Rayleigh Albert.
Kentucky's guards are really good at trailing that little handoff, trying to blow up that action.
Underneath part of the backboard. How often do you see that? It's been that kind of night. Pippen probing. And landed out of bounds. Well, gymnastics takes over the SEC network every Friday night. This week, number 20 Missouri hosts number 14 Arkansas in Columbia at the Hearn Center. That's at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Then number 7 Bama, 6th ranked LSU at 8:30 from the PBAC. That's Friday. Friday Night Heights also streaming live on the ESPN app.
No Hagens, no Richards, players in different roles. A lot going on right now for Kentucky.
Maxwell Evans just picked up his second. Nick Richards with 2 personal fouls. He's been on the bench for most of this first half. And quickly back to the stripe. Outstanding free throw shooter this season. 5 points so far as Richards will look to make an impact. That 7'5" wingspan in our second half.
He hasn't played long enough to build up a good sweat.
One possession game. Approaching a minute to play. Crowd comes to life. Pippen, pump fake. Nicely done inside. 32-28.
Got the mismatch that they wanted. Cal was talking to the team today at shoot-around that Vanderbilt is excellent at ball faking.
He said pump fake, shot fake, more than any other team will play this season. In a timeout, Good start for Vanderbilt. 4-point advantage and a great start for Dylan Dessou, the freshman out of the Lone Star State.
Getting it done really on both ends of the floor. Defensively, with his length, he's able to impact the game in that way. But he's also been an impact player on the offensive end, making shots, gathering rebounds, just being so much a factor in Vanderbilt's hot start here in the first 20 minutes.
10 points, 6 rebounds for Dylan Dessou. And a couple of blocks as well. And the impact on the defensive end of the floor, I think perhaps as significant as any number you see. Blocking shots right at the rim.
Not really a 2-for-1 opportunity for Kentucky, so get your best look. Vandy goes zone.
Inside, Brooks elbow J. Dessou controls. Shot clock is off.
That's the shot you wanted.
And Jerry Stackhouse going to call a timeout, set things up for this last possession.
Against the zone, the 2-3, the middle spot is that soft spot. Kentucky got it there. Brooks with the right look, just didn't make the shot.
The last thing Coach Stack said to us after shoot around early this morning, we've gotten the open looks. The basketball gods have not been smiling down upon us. That's got to change at some point. In the first half, I would argue it has. He's got 20 minutes left to play, however.
And they're doing this without Aaron Nesmith, who was averaging 23 points a game and shooting 52% from beyond the arc. He was the NCAA leader in three-point makes and three-point percentage. And yet his team seems to be playing with a new level of confidence.
Saban Lee, Dylan Dessou. Numbers tell the story. Vandy leads by 4. Who do you like?
Oh, this is going to be in Saban Lee's hand, I would think. Elevator play.
Evans from downtown cranks in another triple.
Forget that last shot stuff.
Vanderbilt leads by 7. Hakens can't get the bounce, and what do you know? We've seen some upsets this year in college basketball. This would be right up there with any of those. Doors lead it by 7. Halftime report coming up right now. Here's Peter Burns and Pat Bradley.
Well, welcome into the...
A quick trip down to Ole Miss next week. And wouldn't you know it, Kentucky trailing Vanderbilt by 7. The Cats facing their largest halftime deficit of the season. Second half coming up moments from now. It's been a wacky year in college basketball. We have witnessed upsets up and down the country. Dayton, of course, has been a surprise with Obi Toppin. Big Blue Nation, cover your screen. The Evansville upset. You don't want it to be duplicated tonight, but hey, 20 minutes in, you never know.
The magic number in the first half was 5. Nick Richards only played 5 minutes, and the Commodores made 5 threes. That's halfway to the 10 I said they needed to make.
It's going to take 10 to give Vandy a chance to end this losing streak in the SEC, which is now at 24 games. It's been almost 700 days since the Doors last won in the rough and rugged Southeastern Conference.
And the bottom line is Kentucky's got to play a lot better on both ends of the floor.
First half stats look like this. Vandy more than holding its own inside, outscoring the Cats in the paint 16-10. You mentioned the three-pointers, but Nick Richards, only those 5 minutes, failed to score with the 2 early fouls. Obviously that'll change in our second half. All right, you're Coach Cal. What's the message?
More energy, more effort, and don't be surprised if Kentucky doesn't go down the floor and try to change the tempo, the pace of this game, make it a little bit more chaotic. Vanderbilt was way too comfortable connecting all the dots in the first half, especially on the offensive end.
Only loss in the league for Kentucky this year at South Carolina about 2 weeks ago. Vanderbilt trying to change that. Doors with possession to open our second half, and Pippen bounced that one out of bounds looking for Lee. And already a different energy.
Especially with this crowd. They sense it.
Big Blue goes to work inside to Richards, and a foul before the shot. No basket. I believe Obina snuck in there. The little forearm. That'll be his second foul.
I like the fact that Cal comes out to start the second half and dials up Richards' number the very first possession. They need to get the big fella going.
They'll look in direction of big number 4 again. Pass is picked off, looking for Montgomery. So here comes Saben Lee.
Vanderbilt's defensive ability to anticipate passes on point.
Lee inside draws the foul. That'll be the second on EJ. Saben Lee to the stripe to shoot 2.
Another example of Saben Lee and his use of the shot fake to get defenders to leave the floor. Take another look. Just enough. Montgomery bites.
And Vanderbilt extending its largest lead now at 8. Gives Saben Lee 11.
This is also good to see if you're a Vanderbilt fan, because Lee missed 8 free throws in that game at South Carolina.
Was boxed out by Maxey. And the foul will be called,
I think this is
against number 3.
Yes.
Vanderbilt will get possession as a result.
You never see this called, and I wish it was called more often. Does Maxey? Yeah, no question. He bumps into Lee. That's an easy call. That's the correct call. Cal wants the officials to take a look. He wants the flop, but there is no flop.
Well, the foul should be against Maxey, correct? Officially, it's listed against Hagans. That's just not right. Yeah, Hagans wasn't even involved in the play. So Maxey will get whistled for the infraction, and they'll correct that. Don Daly all over it. That's his first personal.
Don't look now, but Vanderbilt has a shot at a double-figure lead on the road in Lexington.
Brief conversation to make sure where the shot clock should be, and it's at 30 seconds. (37-28). Lee inside to Obina, who traveled.
It's the right play and the right read by Lee, because Kentucky had doubled off the high ball screen. And Lee read it. Obina's just got to be a ready receiver to finish that play.
Cats looking for their first points of the second half. Nick Richards against Obina. There they are. His first bucket as well.
Cats must establish Richards block to block.
Saben Lee left open. Top of the key and count it. Vanderbilt by 10.
Kentucky had got screened on the high pick and roll, and Lee had enough time to find the seams in his hands.
Vandy with 6 shots made now from downtown. Quickly, baseline. Back up.
I thought he got fouled from behind.
Evans outside to Pippen, left wide open. He'll get it back. Saben Lee off the pump fake. And Richards a rebound.
Right now the home team's getting outworked.
Hagans probing. Give him 2.
And Kentucky needs to look for early offense a little more often.
I'm going to say that was tipped in by Richards. Second basket of the second half. Pippen. UK transition. Maxey rejected, and there's a foul. Dessou thought it was all ball. There was contact below. Maxey to the line.
Dessous has been everywhere, especially on the defensive end. Here he is. He fouls this time, but that's where you want to take your fouls as a big guy. Be a rim protector. Don't allow the easy deuce.
Maxey perfect at the line tonight. Second foul on Dessous, and Maxey will get one more. Montgomery checking out. Nate Sestina back on the floor for UK. Three minutes into our second half. Lead at 7 off the miss by Maxey. Full court pressure now by the Cats.
I like this little half-court trap.
You can feel this one starting to take on a more chaotic flow already. Step back for Lee. And Maxey thought quickly, was still in motion, and he was not. 10th turnover for the Cats.
You want to play faster, you want to play more chaotic, but make good decisions.
Easier said than done, right?
Can Vanderbilt continue to play without looking at the clock and the score?
Elbow jumper to Sue is short. Rebounded quickly. Sestina, big one. Top of the can, it's on net. 40-36.
Sestina made a big three in the overtime win at Texas Tech. Delivers there when the Cats need it.
Evans answers on the other end.
Oh my goodness. Talk about confident shooting.
9 points for Maxwell Evans. Pagans puts it in and a chance for three.
Kentucky trying to pick up the tempo on the offensive end. First, the throwback to Sestina being the stretch 4. He's able to set the screen, step back, and knock down the 3-ball. And then Vanderbilt answers Evans, the left-hander, corner 3-ball. We've got a good one. Vanderbilt has had such good offense tonight. Keep your eye on the Kentucky defender, because when Vanderbilt comes and sets this double stagger screen, the defender goes under both. When he does that, that allows Saban Lee not only to gather the seams, but shoot off the bounce with his feet in the same place. Wonderful execution and marvelous finish by Saban Lee.
Shooting just 29% from deep this season is Lee, but you give him that kind of real estate, that kind of time, and he's going to make you pay more times than not.
15% without Neesmith. Vanderbilt shooting 15% from beyond the arc, and yet, what did Jerry Stackhouse tell us today? He felt like they were close. He said of the 33s that they took at South Carolina, he thought 25 of them were solid, he could live with. He said one of these days we're going to make more.
7 of 16 from bonus land so far tonight for Coach Stack's Vanderbilt Commodores. Big Blue now in the midst of a 9-3 run in the last 2 minutes.
This will be the challenge for Kentucky, is can they keep Saban Lee from being able to beat them off the bounce and get his feet into the paint.
They have not been able to do it so far tonight. Pippen, another pump fake and an air ball this time. Ahead to Sestina. Rejected by Dessous, and again out of nowhere. Wow. Dessous has 5 blocks tonight, and they've all been emphatic. Lee the floater.
That's just asking for trouble. When Lee's able to turn the corner and get his feet in the paint, good things have happened for the Doors.
5 minutes into the second half. Vanderbilt leads by 6. Richards back to work. Obina clears.
Might be just a little too far out for the jump hook there.
Sioux feeling it. Feeds Obina. Gets it back up and in. And a jump ball, no basket. Don Daly right beside the play with the call. And boy, that was close.
I thought the block created the ball to come out of Obino's hands. Yeah, that's not a jump ball. Once the ball comes out of his hands, it's no longer a jump ball situation in my view.
Break for Kentucky. Higgins swatted away by Lee. Quickly left wide open from the wing. Well, you think back to some of the big upsets this year in college basketball. Kentucky against Evansville. Stephen F. Austin against Duke. This one has the potential to rank right up there. And Vanderbilt, led by Dylan Dessou, has been fantastic.
I know we sound like a broken record, but here's Dessou again utilizing his length to catch up on the play. I thought this was going to be an easy deuce for Sestina, but Dessou had other ideas.
10, 8, and 5. How about that stat line for Dylan Dessou, the freshman? Pippen probing. Off glass, down it goes. 47-39.
Here's an interesting thought. Vanderbilt has been the better north-south team in this game.
They've been the aggressor. Pippen with 10 points. Quickly. Can't answer. Gets it back. And the flush by Richards. All 6 of Nick Richards' points coming in the second half. Doors led it by 7 at halftime. Lead is 6 now. The backdoor by Dessou. And Obina was fouled. And if that's Richards, that's number 3. And it is. Don't forget Saturday, another basketball doubleheader headed your direction right here on the SEC Network. Also the ESPN app. And the SEC Now team will be back to wrap it all up later tonight at 10:30. And if this score continues, they're going to have a lot to talk about. One more for Obina.
Just 46% at the line. So in some ways that becomes a good foul, but it does put Richards to the bench. And Kentucky without Richards in the first half offensively, not very good.
Oh for 2.
Just like a turnover.
Cats looking for another spark. And Higgins was fouled.
But how good has Vanderbilt's defense been tonight? They're man-to-man. They're active. They're anticipating passes. They've been super.
Both ends of the floor. As Dessou just picked up his 3rd foul. So Richards with 3, Dessou with 3.
I'm Jerry Stackhouse. I'd be tempted to get him out maybe for just a couple of minutes with the score like it is.
Try to buy some time. Maxey. Elbow J is short. Dessou clears. 1 rebound away from a double-double is Dylan Dessou. Evans. Juzang.
So the Cats need a boost. Perhaps Juzang can answer that.
Freshman rather from LA slices the deficit down to 4. Lee on his pocket pick. Boy, everything a challenge tonight for Big Blue. Brooks. Montgomery up and in. Just like that, a one-possession game. And Dessou just picked up his fourth foul.
That's why I would have been tempted to get him out. But the missed three by Brooks from the corner. E.J. Montgomery, the left-hander, with the left-handed finish. And they're on their feet here in Rupp.
What a scene it will be on the plains back here in the Commonwealth tonight. 2-point game, Vanderbilt still leading UK. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott, and Big Blue in the midst of a 6-0 run in the last 93 seconds. And a chance to make it 7 with Montgomery at the stripe.
Cats better forget about Auburn and focus on the now.
Now the classic trap game in play. Vanderbilt's played extremely well. Don't do anything to discredit what the Doors have done on the road. And UK going to have to do some more glass work in this second half to complete this comeback. EJ 58% at the line this season. As quickly gets set to check back in. 1-point game.
Montgomery is one of those players that does a lot of things that go unnoticed. He's asked to guard different kinds of players. Doesn't get a lot of the spotlight. Kentucky in this half-court trap.
Matthew Moyer checks in as Dylan Dessou's on the bench with 4 fouls.
Here's the matchup again. Got a mismatch.
5 to shoot. Lee. Open look, Albert.
I think Lee's got to shoot that, doesn't he? Again, the ball fake works.
Albert just 2 of 10 from 3-point range this season before that shot. Higgins. And an offensive foul. Well, Albert set up shop just outside. Restricted area there. And a foul against Ashton Higgins.
Take another look. If you want to be an official one day, you make the call. Albert rolls over. It's a bang-bang play. I mean, he's outside the arc. But if there's ever any doubt, I think that call should go on the defense. I think we have too many charges in our game.
Third foul as a result on Higgins. Lead is 1 for Vandy. Trying to win it rough for the first time in 13 years. Albert launches and connects.
Just his third 3-ball of the season. It's been that kind of night for the visitors.
8 triples for Vandy. Lead is pushed back to 4, almost halfway through the second half.
So that's plus 18 in 3-point differential.
Quickly it was bumped. And a chance for 3.
Good execution in the half court, allowing Quickly to wrap around and curl into the paint. Watch as he comes baseline side, curls into the paint, gets his feet set, takes the contact for the and-one opportunity.
Evans got a piece of the elbow on the release. So the third personal on Evans. 6-team foul.
You know how good Vanderbilt has been in this game?
Efficient, outstanding.
They've got the crowd into it at Rupp. I'm not sure many people coming to the arena tonight would think that. I've said this earlier in the year, the difference between, in this particular season, the difference between number 1 in the country and number 30, 1 possession. Number 30 and 130, 1 possession. It's been that kind of season.
The chaos in college basketball has been real. Back to a one-point game. Quite quickly, all over Scottie Pippen Jr. Ten to shoot. Pippen wants it. He'll get the screen. Scottie Pippen Jr. Well short.
Kentucky with good defensive patience in that possession.
Hagan's double team. Quickly. Rebound Montgomery. With a little dream shake. In and out and back in. The last lead for UK was way back with 8:37 to go in the first half until now.
Working the offensive glass.
Saban Lee penetrates and scores. He's got 19.
You got to be careful about guarding a guy so tightly at 30 feet from the basket when he is so explosive with his ability to get to the rim.
You know, the grind of SEC play at the end of January is real. Quickly tried the reverse and was fouled at the last second.
Going back again to try and guard Saban Lee. Look how far out on the floor he is with Maxey, and here comes the screener, and there are two guys out there. He's not going to score from out there, but he will score at the rim. He rejects that screen. He's really good at spinning, isn't he? He's got a confident spin move. Kentucky has had no answer for Saban Lee tonight.
8 of 11 from the floor. He's dropped a couple of dimes, and he'll get a breather from Coach Stack right now. Meanwhile, that was the fourth personal. Ejike Obina. So Dessou with 4, Obina with 4. And the foul's mounting up for Vanderbilt. And it's upset hopes here at Rupp.
This is not the guy you want to put at the free throw line. You mentioned this earlier, 91%. That's 6th best in the NCAA.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Don't foul him.
Quickly, of course, hit the half-court shot right before halftime in Lubbock back on Saturday night. We didn't know at the time that was a pretty big sequence.
How big do those 3 points look now?
Significant. He's got 11 tonight. Crowd to its feet.
This is a wide flex set. Screen the screener all the time.
Albert needs it. Can't connect. Pippen gets it back.
Great recovery.
And Pippen traveled. 11 turnovers for Jerry Stackhouse's Vanderbilt Commodores. Wildcats lead it by 1. 7:55 to go. A good one here at Rupp Arena on a Wednesday. Here at Rupp, and I tell you this, had you told me earlier today this would be a one-point game with 8 minutes to go, I would have simply suggested for you to shut your mouth when you're talking to me, because this has been a whale of a game.
The genesis of all great upsets starts at the arc, and this game is no different. I said Vanderbilt had to make at least 10 3 balls, and right now they've made 8.
On pace, on track. Big Blue has rallied in the second half. And let's see what happens next.
So I'm curious, when does Jerry Stackhouse bring Dessou back in the game?
Dessou with 4 fouls. Obina with 4. And that 4th personal looming large for Vandy's upset hopes. Richards inside. The beautiful dime drop by Higgins.
Call out a timeout. Credit the coaching staff with the assist on that one. And Vandy the same thing. Oh my goodness. How much fun is this?
Lee couldn't finish at the rack, and a foul against Pippen.
Keep your eye on Nick Richards here in the middle of the floor. Gets the screen on the upside, catches and finishes. And lo and behold, Vanderbilt had called the exact same thing for Saban Lee. I love it.
Big Blue in the bonus. And the 1-and-1, everybody was confused there for a second, thinking he was automatically getting 2. He was not. And stepping out was Jordan Wright. Costly mistake by the Doors.
Must know where you are.
Cats will get Auburn down at Auburn Arena Saturday at 6 o'clock on ESPN. Game day is going to be there. Off the comeback win at Texas Tech on Saturday night. It's taken a little bit of time to warm up rough, but they've done it here in the second half. Richards. And there's still work to do.
I was wondering when we were going to see Dessou, and I see him at the scores table now.
Well, Evans wanted that shot moments ago. The crossover Higgins here and draw the contact. Don't forget, coming up Saturday, another men's college basketball doubleheader right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Arkansas, Bama at 6. Florida, Vandy, and Nashville at 8:30. That's Saturday also on the ESPN app. You were telling me about 5 hours ago, Hogs and Bama, one of those under-the-radar games that could mean a ton come tourney time.
A fork in the road game. And when I say that, I mean if you can win that game, it might put you on the path to an NCAA bid. You know, Joey Brackett's had Arkansas in earlier today.
They're firmly in at this juncture. And Bama, I believe, is actually the last team left out the field of 68 right now. (55-53). Well, you just wondered, does Vanderbilt have enough offense? Can Dessou create enough of a spark to keep this one close down to the end?
Vandy back to the zone to try and protect Dessou.
Richards, baseline, 15-footer.
That's where we see the growth in Nick Richards. I see a big guy now in a tight situation, much like what he did at Texas Tech. He wants the ball.
10 points for Nick Richards, all coming in the second half. The foul some 35 feet away from the rim is on Maxey.
Not very often do you see Maxey, Higgins quickly have so much difficulty like they are having tonight trying to keep up with Saban Lee.
Big free throws. 1-and-1 for Lee. Now the bonus.
I would be tempted to get Dessou out of the game on the defensive stop here, Ray.
Jerry Stackhouse, year number 1 in Nashville. His team with an opportunity, a massive opportunity on the road.
Free throw line, short corner.
Maxey left open. Big time shot for bonus land.
Pippen on the high end of the zone got sucked into the lane way too far.
Dessou from the wing answers.
Oh, man, has that young fella been good.
He has grown up a lot in the last 8 days. career high a week ago in the home loss to Alabama. He's been a factor on both ends of the floor tonight here at Rupp. Richards will shoot two.
Back-to-back, we have gone in a couple of possessions. First on the Kentucky and Maxey against the zone. Way too easy of a vision for him. And then on the pick and pop with Dessou, free throw line extended. And we trade 3 balls.
You call Nick Richards' performance against Texas Tech Saturday night a monster outing. 25, 14, and 4.
He was the best player on the floor in a game that had a lot of good players on the floor.
The kind of production we haven't seen really since A.D. Anthony Davis back in the day. 1 of 2 at the line here. It remains a 1-possession game.
The elevator play they ran at the end of the half. Much better job by Montgomery getting there.
That led to an open Maxwell Evans 3. He'll get it from the corner this time. Scottie Pippen Jr. Or at least Sky for the rebound. Saved to Moyer. Rejected from behind. How about the defense? The rim protection. And Maxey was pushed and fouled.
Vandy did everything but score on the last possession. Great look by Pippen, which led to 2 offensive rebounds. Finally, Kentucky was able to gather. Saban keeps this alive, and Dessou throws it back in. Moyer is unable to finish. He saves it. Gets it blocked. I thought that was a foul on Juzang. Cats got away with one there.
Maxey with 11 points tonight. Give him 12. One more free throw coming. Doors struggling. The offensive glass. Sestina back in. Montgomery to the bench for Coach Cal.
But I've been impressed with Vandy's ability to battle on the boards. Remember, in league play, Roy, they are minus almost 11 in rebound margin. One of the reasons they've been so good, number 1 wearing the black.
Five-point lead for Kentucky. Trailed by 7 at halftime. Save and lay. Wide open. Big miss for the Doors.
Miscommunication that time defensively.
Boy, and Lee clenching his fist. Now defending Maxey, realizing the missed opportunity there. Maxey, silky smooth with the mid-range.
This is why people like him at the next level. His ability to be a bucket getter.
And some much-needed breathing room for Big Blue. Very cool and calm, Jerry Stackhouse. His team's made 1 of their last 7 field goal attempts. Another dry spell. And a foul as Pippen went to attack mode. Third on quickly. 3:34 to go at Rupp. The lead is 7 for Big Blue. Thank you very much. Back here in Lexington, the lead is 7 for Big Blue. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. It's time for the Mayhem Moment. Brought to you by Allstate.
Every coach in the country wants a guy that can just go get you a bucket. Kentucky has that in the freshman Tyrese Maxey. Maxey has scored 7 of Kentucky's last 8 points, delivering down the stretch.
Pippen at the stripe shooting 2. You see Maxey's night, 15 on the board so far. Rock solid at the stripe. You and I kind of looked at each other this morning, watching Vanderbilt, talking with Coach Jerry Stackhouse, listening to Coach Cal talk to his team. He expected a battle. He knew that he was going to have to absorb Vanderbilt's best shot. like he's got to do a lot of nights this season. The fact that this game has been closer than expected, not a shocker. The fact that Vandy led it by 7 at halftime, perhaps a bit of a surprise. But this is what happens. End of January, the grind of league play.
The Vanderbilt formula for success for the rest of the season is pretty simple, really. Saban Lee, Scottie Pippen, Dylan Dessou all have to play well. And they've all played well tonight.
It's not rocket science, it's basketball. Approaching 3 minutes to play. Maxey from the elbow, in and out. Richards skies for the rebound. Comes up short, a big stop for the Doors.
Richards' ability to rebound out of his area code gave him a second chance opportunity there.
He was somewhere coming from Frankfurt that time, wasn't he?
I'm impressed.
I just wanted to throw that out there. Hey, here in the Commonwealth, I get it.
I'm the native Kentuckian.
And Dessou saved the high pass. Missed the triple.
Bad pass, which means he wasn't in under his own feet. Shot that off balance. Still just a 2-possession game. I want the ball to go into Nick Richards.
Off the curl, quickly. Double team. Maxey, off glass. 17 points for Tyrese Maxey.
And he's made it look relatively easy. It's the only thing that's come easy tonight for Kentucky.
And Jerry Stackhouse going to utilize a timeout.
You just wonder. Vanderbilt has played so well for so long. Is fatigue starting to kick in?
No question about it. A big night for Tyrese Maxey. 17 on the board, off glass here in Kentucky. Trying to keep the upset hopes of Vandy at bay. Cats with their largest lead, 2:15 to go. An updated look at the SEC standings. Hey, this one means a lot. You're a game behind LSU. Mark, who's still undefeated in SEC play.
You've got to keep up with that top tier, but I'm going to draw your attention to below this line. Look at the log jam in this conference with the number of teams that have 3 losses as teams continue to jockey for position. LSU being the only undefeated team, but they've won 6 games, their last 6, by a total of 15 points. That's living right.
Will Wade, talk to me. Getting it done in the close contest down on the Bayou. Kentucky's won 7 of 8. They've been getting it done recently. Going to try to make it 8 of 9.
Oh, Pippen threw that in off the back of Quickly.
Dessou. Oh, that would have been huge. Instead, Richards controls. Well, you just don't see a lot of players with Nick Richards' skill set. The length, the wingspan, the scoring ability, rebounding, rim protection.
Bouncy. He's got a real bounce to his game. He's combined that with a high skill level.
I think that's one of the reasons so many people are starting to say, okay, teams you don't want to play in March. This one right here, he's one of the main reasons why.
Higgins took his time, took what the defense gave him.
13 second half points for Nick Richards. Obina off the mark, another board. And another double-double for Nick Richards. He was scoreless at the break. Played 5 minutes in the first half, has exploded to lift Kentucky to this comeback. Again, oh, 2 more.
Room service from Higgins. Kentucky's going to win this game, but what an effort by Vandy.
Evans off the mark. Richards with a smile and a board. The lead at 11, the largest of the night.
It's never easy.
Cats will be on the road Saturday down in the Plains against Auburn.
The effort.
Richards getting the job done. Big Blue will call a timeout. It'll stay on this end with 8 to shoot, 27 seconds remaining. It's been a fun one tonight, partner, here at Rupp.
Again, we came in here knowing that Vanderbilt was going to be challenged in some serious ways in league play, not averaging 60 points a game. Their field goal shooting was 35%. Their three-point percentage was 20%. You have to remember they played their first league game at Auburn with Aaron Nesmith and were very effective. Since that game, only 15%. And I said the genesis of all great upsets start at the arc, and that Vanderbilt had to make at least 10 threes in this game. And how many have they made?
9.
9. That's not 10.
Tyrese Maxey, effective. The floaters, the deep balls. He's been so impressive in so many different ways.
He started this game off with that three-point shot, got the kind roll, but it's been his ability to score in the paint. He is a multi-level scorer. He can score at the arc, he can score off the bounce, he can get himself to the free throw line. And when you can do that as a player, you become a handful on the other team's scouting report. And so it's been a relatively quiet night by Quickly, relatively quiet night by Hagans, but Richards in the second half, combined with Maxey, they've been the difference.
Tyrese Maxey, tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Zaxby's. And between Tyrese Maxey, Nick Richards, they've combined to score UK's last 18 points, 9 apiece. Clutch. I mean, there's value too. You're a former coach. There's value in the conference grind. Coming from behind, they trailed by 10 with 18 minutes to play. You get a hard-fought win. You start to build up a little mojo so that come March, you face a deficit, you don't freak out, right?
Absolutely,
okay.
Because you want to figure different ways to win. But at home, I'm not sure this is the game you want in this particular situation. Let me tell you what it gives Coach Cal. He's going to tell these guys, I thought I told you after the Evansville game that you had to be prepared every night out. Well, here's lesson number 2 now.
He told the team today, he reminded them one more time, don't count on me to save you. Well, Maxey and Richards played those roles tonight, especially in the second half. One more for Obina.
Yeah, he said that after the Arkansas game. He said that was really good for us. And I don't know if he planned on getting kicked out or not, but he said it was really good for us in terms when I got kicked out, because Hagans at that moment, I think, took ownership of the team. And from that point on, it's been more players driven, which is what he likes.
All great coaches. The ones that win the championships will tell you our best teams are when the players police themselves. When the chemistry is there, the leadership is there, but it's on the floor. And I think that's what you're seeing for UK post Arkansas after the ejection.
Quickly picked up his dribble in backcourt, took the timeout, but there's no need to do that. First of all, you want to, against any kind of pressure, keep the ball in the middle third of the floor, and he drove it up the sideline, picked up his dribble, made 2 mistakes there, really.
You're such a coach. This game's over. 71-62.
Where are we going next week? Is that what I should be asking you?
Ole Miss, South Carolina. Next Wednesday night. The Hoop Junkie jet lands somewhere near Memphis, I assume. Then we'll make a quick drive down. Nick Richards all smiles. E.J. Montgomery feeling good.
We talked about how Kentucky has to overcome three-point shooting differential. They've done that with effective two-point shooting. They've attacked the glass, and they've been successful at the line.
Now the final score will only tell part of the story tomorrow. Quality effort by Vanderbilt. Big Blue too strong at home as Kentucky overcomes its largest deficit to secure a victory this season. Trailed by 10 with 18 to go, and will win by 9 going away.
Every coach wants to know how many different ways can my team win a game. Well, they learned a new one tonight.
71-62, our final score. That wraps it up for our coverage here in Lexington. Send you now back to the SEC Network studios. Peter Burns, Pat Bradley. Guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Kentucky survived.